Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, thank you very much for having me here. Hong Kong is very beautiful. And my name is Purva Gupta. I'm a PhD research scholar at Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi. I've done my master's in construction management, and I have around 5 years of experience of industry, where I've worked as a team lead on railway infrastructure project for design interface issues, structural design engineer, and BIM manager. So I start with the presentation. So okay, the topic of the presentation is dispute prevention using smart legal contracts. And the outline of the presentation is construction disputes. I start with that, then dispute avoidance methods, then smart legal contracts and introduction, and a case study. So dispute in construction projects, basically what is a dispute? It is a claim that is refused, or a claim that is a repudiation of a claim in general. And the disputes in industry have been there in construction industry because of multiple reasons, and these are some of the statistics: global average value of disputes and the time consumed in resolving disputes on an average. Leading causes of disputes when it comes to specifically, I would speak in terms of contracts. So ambiguous language of contract document, delayed decision making, poor communication, misinterpretation of contract terms. These are some of the issues. So what is, when I go for dispute prevention, so this is where my focus of my research is. Instead of dispute resolution, let us go for a proactive strategy where we could actually prevent disputes early on in the project. So that is where I want to implement blockchain. Some of the key elements and strategies that are already existing in the industry are listed here, but because the time is short, and you are very well aware of the strategies, so I'll just go to the main point, that the basic challenge to most of these strategies is the architecture is centralized, so the parties do not trust each other. The data is held by one key person. It could be the employer or the contractor. So there is lack of trust because of this centralized holding of data and the model and the drawings. And second is like lack of transparency. There are data silos between the departments, between the projects, within the project, between different stakeholders. So I want to use blockchain technology to ensure there's certainty, commitment, and communication when it comes to contract management. So, smart legal contracts, and they are very well introduced and discussed before me, so I'll just skip on this part. And what is proposed here is two things. One is automation using smart legal contracts. Another one is decentralization using blockchain technology between the stakeholders. So this, combining these two, that is decentralized execution of the contract and automation using smart contracts. So one case study is presented of a construction mega project, of a railway infrastructure mega project on dedicated freight corridors. The details of the project case are here. Now, this is the key stakeholders and project structure. As you can see that unlike normal construction projects, when it comes to mega projects, there are a lot of stakeholders involved. And when we talk about decentralization on a blockchain, there is it's not that easy when such a huge amount of stakeholders are involved and there are multiple contracts. There is not one single contract. So this is a conceptual model of the decentralized blockchain network, where all these stakeholders are on the same network, but so basically I've tried to use Hyperledger Fabric, but as Professor Lu said, we could have something specific to construction industry, a platform, because as you can see, C1, C2, C3, there are 3 sub-networks sub-channels within the network because there has to be a network of the contractors with the subcontractors. There has to be a network of the employer, the Ministry of Railways, and there is a contract there. So there is one with the designer. So all these things are interlinked. We want all of them on the same page. We want the data to be shared equally between them. But again, we want to restrict the data. So the contractor doesn't want the subcontractor data to go out. But we can, so instead of like the payments are made, so instead of we could share the information on how much work is done with everybody, including the financing firms, including everyone. But what about the payment terms that the contractor pays to the subcontractor? That data could be kept within that channel. So it could be a hybrid or consortium sort of a decentralized blockchain, but not completely decentralized. So I've taken an example of a dispute here in this dedicated freight corridors of India. There was a dispute, just one example case study is used here. So there was a dispute in time for completion of the project, and the project got delayed. Extension of time was requested by the contractor. It was granted, but it was granted without a levy of liquidated damages and price variation. So the contractor did not accept it. The contractor asserted that price variation must be provided because the delay is not attributable to the contractor. Then conditional price variation was granted, freezing the price variation clause to original date of completion and not extended date of completion, which was again not acceptable to the contractor, and therefore a dispute arose between the two. And a dispute adjudication board was appointed. Now in this, there were 4 issues as a part of the dispute. First one was, is the contractor's claim time barred in provisions of clause 20.1 of GCC? I'm talking about FEDIC 1999 here. So the concept is that the dispute was that whether the contractor issued the notice for extension of time and price variation within the time limit, which is generally 28 days to give the notice for the claim. So it became a part of a dispute. But if we do have a smart contract inbuilt, then this is not actually a dispute, because if it is beyond 28 days, the contractor would not be able to even initiate the claim. So the whole concept of loss of time and energy in discussing whether it was within the notice period or not goes away. Next is, will the price variation clause be applicable based on the extended or the original time of completion? Now again, here we have that EOT is sanctioned, so we could have an original time of completion, we could have an extended time of completion. So the contractor asserted that it should be, since extension of time was provided, it should be based on the extended time of completion. So such issues could be avoided if, again, we have automation and deterministic terms in the contract, where it is clear that the moment extension of time is provided, the schedule automatically gets updated. The time for completion gets updated to the extended time for completion, and accordingly the price variation gets calculated. So the whole discussion could be avoided. And whether PVC is admissible on incomplete cost centers. So cost centers are basically when we want to make interim payments to the contractor. So there are times when the advance payments are made to the contractor for in terms of cash flow, for ease of cash flow and everything. So there was a issue in this dispute that whether price variation would be applicable to the cost center part as well. So again, in this part also, if we have automated digital payments, then we could avoid this sort of confusion and questioning, cross-questioning, as it would be very well laid out in the beginning of the in the contract language. And then issue 4, that is cause and responsibility of delay. It is a long running issue, and I think even smart contracts, it would be difficult for them to resolve it. But linking with IoT devices, real-time project progress, this could give a more or less an overview and some accountability could be, laid upon the person who's delayed. And but I still believe that there would still be a lot of disagreements even after we have smart contracts in place. So thank you, and this was just an effort to demonstrate the system and how we could preempt certain recurring disputes and claims using smart contracts and blockchain. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.